Do you ever get the feeling, or does the thought ever occur to you when you're listening to certain albums, artists from a specific label, that it's just unbelievable what I'm hearing? I can't believe how good this is. I'm like awestruck. That's the feeling that I get with a lot of the stuff released through Goatowarex. Oh, hi there. My name's Jorge. I grew up in the 80s and I used to love getting into trouble. I have always been a friend of felines. I take my faith very seriously, attending college at a Christian school, and I've been a music fan my entire life, only recently discovering that I really like extreme metal, and I want to invite you to journey with me on my discovery of extreme metal. What is up, folks? Welcome back to A Christian Collects Death Metal. It's your pal Jorge here, back at you with another video. Thanks for stopping by once again. Welcome back. Today, my friends, marks the start of a new endeavor, a new series that I hope to start, basically where I just spotlight a certain label and give a brief history and gush about basically different albums and artists, what have you, released through said label. And so, yeah, today we're talking about Goatowarex. I'm going to refrain from talking about some of the more popular artists from this label, like Life Lover, Conflict, Commodus, whom I've talked about ad nauseum on this channel. These are artists that everybody knows and loves. So I tried to pick out a handful of lesser known releases. I don't know, probably not so much. It seems like everybody keeps an eye on every single thing released through Goatowarex. So, anyway, we'll see where it takes us. Without further ado, let's go. Goatowarex, which is short for, I believe, Mighty Goats of War Records, started in 2002 by a one Danny Lee when he resided in Sydney, Australia. Now, in 2008, the label ownership switched hands to a gentleman, Australian, David Goo, and then 2 short years later, it would switch back to Danny after David, for whatever reason, fell out of the underground scene. Not sure why. I can't find any information on this online. Let me know in the comments if you're more familiar with what happened. But the label was started to promote and release different black metal projects, as well as noise stuff, dark ambient. He has some dungeon synth over there, as well as some other things too. And I think that I don't know if you could call it a misconception, but I think that what most people, including myself, associate with Goatowarex is it's a black metal label, and maybe even more so a raw black metal label, but that's really not the case, even though I think that that is the bulk majority of the releases that we get through them. There is quite a bit of other stuff on there as well. So Danny also operates Viva Angel Press. Now, my suspicion, and I don't know this for a fact, there is such a scarcity of infos online related to Danny and the label. It's hard to find anything at all. But I'm pretty sure that Viva Angel Press is either his own pressing plant or some type of a contract that he has with a pressing plant to where he can, get these records pressed. So I'm not really sure. But he also operates Psychedelic Lotus Order as well. And he works with a lot of other underground independent labels in order to put out these different releases. We have Mournful Moon with Twilight My Passion. This is their sophomore release. I had to think about that. Well, they have obviously a debut as well called Rose Velvet Dynasty. And let me just say this while I'm holding this. Goatowarex. This is such a hard. Well, okay. For those who have Sporagmos by Spectral Voice, you remember how stiff and hard that cardboard sleeve was? That's what you get here. This is an incredibly hard piece of cardboard. It is actually, like, it just feels quality, right? So Danny worked with His Wounds, another label, to put these guys out. This is their debut. They also have a demo, and what I like about this band, and what's really interesting, is that every release that they've done so far, they have a demo as well, is completely different from the last. Like, you could probably listen to one or the other, and you wouldn't associate, you would think these are two different bands. So the demo is mainly all drone, dark ambient, not so much my thing, really, if I'm being honest. But when they came out with the debut Rose Velvet Dynasty, my Obi strip is kind of loose on there. This is just, it says romantic black metal. That's probably accurate. I mean, with the lady on there. Will YouTube hit me with something there because of this? I don't know. But anyway, it's just some great sounding black metal, and it has like death metal vocals, like these low guttural style of vocals on the debut. You don't get that with their sophomore release. This is more traditional black wraith, black metal wraith, high-pitched vocals. This is probably most definitely my favorite right here. It just sounds incredible. When I first listened to this, I just couldn't believe what I was hearing. Mournful Moon, a two-piece hailing from Athens, Greece. It is some of the best black metal I've ever heard. I know that I say that a lot, and it's always true, man. I just, if you haven't heard this, I would highly encourage you to check this out. And this is a great death metal project. So these guys, technically it's blackened death metal. It just sounds like death metal to me. There's a lot of great tremolo picking. They got some chug sections. It just, you know, it's in the same vein as like Impetuous Ritual, Zoom Pantley, this sort of like tribalistic type death metal. And it sounds so good. And in a previous video, I mentioned that this would most likely be a nominee for album of the, or one of the albums of the year. It'll definitely be listed, and I still stand by that. This is really good. I realize this type of death metal may not be for everyone, but it is so good. There are a lot of repetitive sections in that, but I think that you would come to expect that with this sort of primal, tribal, you know, style of death metal. But it works so well. I'm so glad. Next we have Ascalapha with Fata Morgana. Don't let the cover art fool you. This is ferocity at a level. This is black metal at the front lines where the fighting is the fiercest. This is an onslaught of just black metal madness. It sounds incredible. You know, as far as, you know, they call it down here on the Obi strip atmospheric gothic black metal. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess, but man, this is so ferocious sounding. It is honestly just, yeah, the cover art, in my opinion, doesn't really match with the music, but hey, who am I, right? I almost think that he should have just went with this for the cover, but who knows. Anyway, it's all about the music, and the music is absolutely stellar. Like, another one of those things, man, I just can't believe what I'm hearing. It's so crazy how just high quality some of these artists, some of these releases are. This is his sophomore album. He has a debut that came out, I think, in 2022, 2023, Somber Vampiric Night, which is good as well. He has some other EPs and stuff from St. Louis, Missouri, working with Danny at Goatowarex, putting out some of the best black metal. It is crazy. If you haven't checked this out, do yourself a favor and give it a listen. We have some Finnish atmospheric black metal with Starcave. They have a few releases. I don't have a physical copy. I know, cardinal sin. I can't find this anywhere. Obviously, it's sold out. And that's one of the things with Goatowarex too, is a lot of these albums are just so limited in release that they go quick, right? I think some of that is starting to change, at least what I'm noticing. And maybe that's with some of the bigger artists like Commodus. It seemed like the most recent, or one of the most recent batches, they produced a higher quantity of the album, and so there was plenty to go around. But some of these others, man, there's just not a lot out there. And if there was, I don't know. I guess I just missed out is what it comes down to. But scrolling around through his page, I just discovered this band, and it's just so incredible. Finnish black metal. It's operatic, sort of, in parts. There are these organ sections. What I only suspect is an organ that I'm hearing, or maybe some type of synth, and drum fills that are just loud and clear. It has a raw element to it, but it's really not quite raw black metal. It just sounds really good. It's such a great release. I hope that they reissue this at some point. Let me know in the comments if you have this, what you think about it. Starcave from Finland. All the way from 2021, 4 years ago. UK artist, London, England. We have Gergesenes with Exorcism of the Gergesenes Demoniac. Wow, that's a mouthful. What originally attracted me to this artist was the name. This is based around a famous or infamous biblical passage with the demon-possessed person that had the legion of demons inside of him, right? He was basically naked in a graveyard, self-mutilating, howling at the moon, and attacking random passersby. It's kind of crazy, but that's what this specific album, or demo rather, is in reference to. And so, yeah, Gergesenes was just an area. That is the literal name of the Samaritan area that bordered Israel at the time. And yeah, there was this demon-possessed guy. So I think that's what this, based on the name of the album and the band name, my suspicion is that that's definitely what it's about, I guess. This is like ambient black metal at its absolute finest. And man, it just like, it's entrancing. I don't have a physical copy, right? I'm way too late for that. Though I think that I might have found one. But anyway, fingers crossed, right? It's 32 minutes of just really good raw black metal, and not too raw to where you just like don't even want to listen to it. If you're like me, maybe I'm just could be a poser, but you know, it sounds really good. They do a lot of interesting stuff. I think they have another EP as well as maybe a split. I could be wrong, but I'll definitely be keeping my eyes on this specific artist. Anyway, there you have it, Gergesenes. Alright, my friends, there you have it. Just a quick video, me gushing over a few releases over at Goatowarex. Let me know in the comments what I missed. What are some really standout releases that you think that I should check out? I'm really curious to hear what you have to say, because this label's been around for a long time, approaching 3 decades now. So I know that I've missed a ton of stuff. I realize there's some controversy concerning the label. I'm not going to speak to it because I don't know enough about it. I'm not sure. So I'll leave it alone. Anyway, do you agree with some of these releases that I mentioned? Have you personally checked them out? Do you own them? Let me know in the comments below. Jorge, a Christian who collects death metal, signing off. Be blessed.